Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. I hope you guys have had a great weekend and had a good little break. We had a nice Easter holiday over the weekend and got some time off. But the markets have surprisingly not taken any time off. We've had bank holidays throughout Europe, and we still see quite a bit of activity throughout the night as the market opened this week and throughout the day. So let's talk about it. First of all, super heavy schedule this week. Tons of announcements, tons of announcements. Lots of U.S. announcements. We have non-farm payroll this week. We have the ADP report this week. Coming into tonight, Monday night, we have the Australian interest rate announcements. We have all the employment announcements coming up, some daylight savings. We have interest rate announcements for Europe and the UK. It's going to be a big week, so I hope you all are ready. Let's talk about this. We had an interesting little move. The euro dollar opened up this week and just kind of started to sink, which makes tons of sense given what's going on in Europe. And then for some crazy reason, it just decided to turn around and it made a run, which we're not super surprised about, up into the missed daily pivot point and the 200 moving average. Now, beyond this is where the big question marks start to come up. Above about 128.85, I'll get long euro dollar and see if we can take this thing up for a big chunk. But that's going to be a tough level to break. Remember this little channel we were bouncing around in a whole bunch last week, about 128.30 to 128.80. We broke out of that, made a run down, tried to get back up into that channel a few times, couldn't do it, and now here we are back up in the channel once again. And so we're kind of back into this play of 128.80 to 128.30. So above 128.85, I'm going to start looking for opportunities. 128.85, 128.90 for opportunities to get long up into 130 and 130.50 and so on. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. Remember, we've got fib levels to keep an eye on from this short-term run here. So right now we're battling with the weekly pivot, 200 moving average, 38% fib. This could be enough to turn this thing down and start heading south, and if that's the case, we'll be looking for some opportunities to trade there. And we may have an opportunity to short against 128, 85, 90, but that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So we'll talk about this and kind of what we need to do there. But just remember, above 120, 128.90, we'll say we're ready to, to look for a little bit of a bigger run up. Now, the one that I'm a little more interested in right now is the pound dollar. The pound dollar is looking great. I think our head and shoulders pattern from the daily chart, we had a really short-term hourly head and shoulders pattern that kind of played out, and we had this big run down, and then all of a sudden we started making higher lows again, and here we are back into play with this daily head and shoulders pattern, and I still think we're headed up into that 154 area on this pair. So I'm looking to just get long on the pound dollar between 152.00 and 152.20. You can see that range right here. Between this little area, I'm looking to get long on the pound dollar with stops at this point below 151.75, and I'm looking to head up into 154. 15400 and even potentially a little bit beyond that. So pretty simple. That's just kind of what I'm looking for there, and I think we'll have a nice little run there. And then briefly here on the Aussie dollar, so the Aussie dollar is kind of broken out of this channel, and we started trading it as it traded down below this channel here. It looks like we might be getting some sort of head and shoulders pattern on this Aussie dollar in the works here as well. So remember, we do have interest rate announcements tonight, which could really cause some craziness on the Aussie dollar. But I'm still looking for a long-term trade to get short against this high, 104.96. So I'm thinking a good area, generally speaking, to start getting into this pair would be 104.50. You can see there's been lots of reaction to this 104.50 area. So around 104.50, I'd like to get short and hopefully get an entry there with stops above this 104.95 to start taking this pair back down towards parity. Now remember, coming up here we have a lot of pre-summer runs and things coming up, and there's going to be some big activity, so that'll be one thing. And so these are all kind of preliminary moves before the big move, but I think a little bit of retracement on this Aussie dollar before a big push down of 5, 6, 800 pips, 1,000 pips, not out of the question. So that's what we're looking for on the Aussie dollar there. The rest of these pairs, I'm kind of just sitting on the sidelines for the moment. The yen pairs are all over the place. Remember, we had this 97.70 area on the Aussie yen. It's below that, so there's going to be opportunities to short against this high. Remember, we have a missed weekly pivot that might be in target here, so a couple of things to look for there, but not super excited about the Aussie yen pairs for the moment. or excuse me, the yen pairs for the moment. Remember our missed daily pivot back here on the Euro Aussie. We're just about there. We're kind of running up to that area, testing the 200 moving average. So for a lot of these pairs, the goal and kind of the target for anything that may have missed weekly pivot points, just watch for those. The euro dollar or the euro yen has missed the weekly pivot so far. The Aussie yen's missed the weekly pivot. The pound yen already made contact there. Aussie dollar has already made contact. Pound dollar and euro dollar have as well. So just watch these levels. We have some great setups. We're going to have a daily wrap-up session today. We have a live non-farm payroll announcement at the end of the week that we'll be live for and trading, and just lots of good activity. So really looking forward to it. Great setups this week, and I will see you guys in the chat and on Twitter. Thanks, everyone. Take care.